Welcome to our podcast, and on this episode, we are going to talk about land, raw land, no homes on it, just buying land.
Yee-hoo, let's go. Okay, we are here for the show. Thank you so much. I'm trying not to reiterate exactly what was just said on the intro of the show and make it not so annoying. But before we get into our land episode that we're going to be chit-chatting about today, I want to talk about what we would like from you. Okay, our fee. Please just share the show. If you get some value, give us a comment. 5-star, 1-star, whatever it is. The only way we can get better and value and give you value, and the only way we can do that is by you telling us. So we can't know if we suck if you don't tell us. Can't know if we're doing good if you don't tell us. So do that. So we're talking about land today. Here in the great state of Texas, we have a lot.
And real quick, if you're new to the show, I'm Travis Hitt.
I'm Turner Cavender.
All right.
My boy over here is getting good.
I'm learning.
That was good. That was good, Travis.
Thank you.
That was good.
Oh, pound it.
There you go. All right, so we're going to be talking about land today. In the real estate world, it is a lot different than purchasing a home, land with a home on it, just land. I did my first deal with just land probably about, 5 months ago.
Yeah, recently.
And so it's a little bit different.
Yep.
So let's jump into it, Travis.
So, raw land, I feel like I should have worn my jeans and boots for this one.
Oh, right.
That's okay. I do it all.
It's okay.
I love buying and selling land personally because it's different than a home or regular residential real estate, but it's a lot of fun as well. It's usually a different type of clientele because if you're buying land, you're buying it really for just a couple purposes. One, to hold for an investment, cattle, ranch, or to build a property, usually build your dream home on land. There's a lot of differences when you're buying or selling a piece of land.
Turn into zone into commercial.
Could be.
Depending on where it is.
Could be. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people buy it for the investment side, and you can change it from residential to commercial depending on where it's at. All of these topics that we do, we could go far more in depth.
Yeah.
So that's why we ask for feedback or questions, because in 20 minutes, we can't really get into the nitty-gritty like we do with clients.
Yeah, we really don't want to go over 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Who wants to listen to dudes talk for more than that? I mean,
Not
I know
me.
there's some funny ones out there. Like if we did like a nightcap, Turner and Travis nightcap, where we're drinking some beverages.
You might not be able to stop watching.
Yeah, like it would be a train wreck. You don't want to stop.
Yeah.
But we're talking about business and how you can, learn as a real estate agent, learn as a consumer to do what to do in real estate. And sometimes these topics can be dry.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to drive the point.
So with land, the first thing I like to talk about is the financial side. It is very different than buying a pre-owned home when it comes to the qualifying process and what's needed. The biggest difference is down payment. That's always the biggest question we get is, can I put 3 to 5% down when I'm buying land like you can on buying a home? And no, you can't. And if there's a lender out there that can correct me, please correct me and make me better. But land is very different because you're going to a bank for typically less of a loan, and there's no structure on it. It's just land. So they require minimum, from what I've been able to find in research, is 15%. Your standard down payment on a piece of land is going to be between 20 and 30%, depending on the price point and what bank you're going with. So that's the biggest difference, to where when you're buying a home or regular residential real estate, or if there's a home on the land, you can do a conventional loan, FHA, VA, whatnot. You can put as low as 3% down. Not if you're buying raw land. So if you're thinking of that.
Let's say if there's a land that you want to purchase a home on, you want to build a home on, that could also be different as well, because there's a certain amount of time that you have to build it. Right when you get a loan.
Yeah. You can do a construction loan at that point.
Yeah.
You're still going to be required to have the higher down payment because it's raw land. But you can do a construction loan if your intentions are within a time period to be able to build your new home.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So is there different ways, like is there different situations to different acreages, like when it comes to buying land, like on the finance side when you're trying to finance?
Not really on the finance side. Nope. Raw land is raw land. It's going to be that higher down payment on the financial side.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if it's zone residential, right, that would be considered a lot, right? Most of the time.
Yeah, lot land depends on the size.
Yeah. So by that time, it's already had utilities run to it. Like there on my street, there is land lots that are for sale, and there's a certain amount of time that if you buy it cash, I believe that you can hold on to as long as you can, as long as the HOA lets you.
Right.
It's in the HOA. But most of the time, if you buy it cash, you can just hold on to it. And that's what he was saying. Some people just buy it to hold and then resell as the market goes up.
Yeah.
Because value in real estate goes up, as statistics always say. So if you are interested in purchasing land, we would love to dive deeper into every little aspect. We don't want to make this this podcast too long. What are some other great knowledge that people should know about land in general?
In my opinion, land, the biggest things are location and utilities.
Okay.
So I can pull up our MLS or map of land that's available, and as soon as I see the price, I typically will know with that area if it has utilities or not. Yeah. That's one of the biggest things that you have to look at and calculate in is if there's no utilities run to that property. Because if you're buying 20, 30 acres, 15 acres, whatever in a rural area, that is a large cost people don't think about. If there's no utilities, you have to factor in running utilities to that property. So that is going to be a lot of cash out of your pocket potentially, or in the construction loan, to be able to have electricity, to have water, sewage.
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Can you get a loan to do that?
It can be, depending on the programs, you can wrap that into a construction loan.
Okay.
If you're doing a construction loan, yes.
Yeah.
If you're not buying that land with the intent to build with a construction loan, you're just buying the land, no.
Yeah, okay, all right. And that, sometimes land can have well water, but you're still going to need electricity. Sometimes it has access to city water, sometimes it doesn't. So it might be private water, right?
Yep.
Private sewage, all those things. So
a lot of big pieces of land don't have city sewer because a lot of them are outside of city limits. Yeah. So they haven't run sewer to that property. So most rural areas that sometimes even in city limits and mainly out of city limits is if it's over an acre to an acre and a half per county guidelines, it requires a septic system. Yeah. So there is no sewage.
Yeah. So I mean, you don't have to have utilities run to it. Like you could just run agriculture on it. You could just, like my last deal I did with land, he just literally needed a plot of land to put all his heavy equipment and store it in one spot. Yeah. Because he lives, way out in East Texas, and he does a lot of business in Dallas, and that's a lot of fuel to haul that.
Yeah, true.
He did it like right in the middle of both. So it would save him a lot of money on just fuel alone and time.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have. He didn't have any, utilities at that location. So just want you to know, if you buy land, right? If you're not, educated in this realm, we're letting you know you don't have to have utilities at it. If you just want to hold or have a horse stable, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need water.
Yeah, you need water. So
yeah. Electric and water are the two big ones. A lot of rural areas don't have natural gas ran, which is fine because you can always use a propane tank. But the main thing whenever you're buying land, whether you're buying it as an investment to hold for a long time or to build on, you want to make sure that city does have the capability to run water and electricity, because
that would help you on the sales side.
It'll help you on the sales side, and whatever you're doing there, it's still always good to have some sort of electric and water. Okay. Another thing that people don't think about is, depending on what you're holding it for, is trees. We have a lot of trees in Texas. People don't calculate in or put in their budget tree removal. Yeah. And it gets expensive.
Oh, big time.
So that's why if you see a 40-acre piece of land that's covered in trees, it's going to be less expensive than a 40-acre piece of land that's cleared or has more cleared areas. It's because I'm stuttering today.
That's all right.
Yeah. It can cost anywhere. I mean, I don't want to give a price, but I've had clients that have spent $100,000 plus on just clearing trees.
Because you got to clear trees, remove them, and then also you have to level it. Like, there's holes that come out of the ground with those trees, so you're just gonna have like a minefield that looks like a door went off.
Now I have smart investors that clear trees and they sell the trees to companies that use wood, that make paper. There's a lot of uses, so there's ways to actually profit from doing that as well. Yeah. But different ways.
So you think we drove this topic in? You think
partially?
Do you think that we should tell the people that we have lenders that could help with
yes.
So we do.
We do.
I just wanted to segue.
Yeah, because your typical lender may or may not lend on land in raw land loans in certain areas. Yeah. Some banks do, some banks don't. So there are specific types of lenders and banks that do land loans.
Mm-hmm. So what else do you think these people need to know? I'm trying not to make it dry.
A lot of people buy one of the biggest benefits of buying land, and it's per county. Every county has their regulations on what can be approved, what can't be approved. But a big benefit of buying land is an ag exemption. Just like we've preached on your homestead exemption to save tax money. It's a tax deduction on your taxes. With a homestead, it's the same thing. You can get an agricultural tax deduction as well and tax benefit. So like certain counties, it'll be 3 acres. There's certain counties that are 8 acres minimum, but you get to put an ag exemption on that land that lowers your taxes to almost nothing.
And you have to have livestock on it, correct?
Yep. Every county is different what you have to have, but it has to be some sort of agricultural producing livestock, or you can
have a farm, or can you
can have a farm, you have a ranch, you can grow hay. Hay's part of it. Chickens, goats, cattle.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of benefits to owning land and having that ag exemption.
Yeah, so I have some family members that have that situation out in Waxahachie, and it's a lifesaver.
It is.
With the amount of land they have. Because
Yeah.
if they didn't, it would be taxes.
Very expensive.
Outrageous. So
Yeah.
it was the hay and the cattle situation. I think we did a really good job on this.
Yeah. And if you want to hear more, because there's a lot more in buying land,
Yeah.
but we just want people to know it is a little different than buying regular residential real estate.
And if you need, some partners that we have that can help out with the financial side of this, if you have questions about how to find it, where to look, what questions to ask, we're here to help you. He got him in his noggin. He's teaching me. We're getting out there to the world. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Pay the fee. Let somebody else know. And when you think about real estate, think about real estate leadership.